Hello friends, I am Ravi Singh. So in today's tutorial we are going to make a to-do application. I know there are a lot of to-do application out there in the market, but this was a request from one of my viewer that I should be creating a to-do application. I do think that it is a very good choice to have a to-do application out there and for a tutorial because in that case we have very clear understanding of what our scopes are and what we are going to make, so we won't be actually wasting our time in terms of discussing that what features would we be implementing in this particular tutorial. So we are very much clear about the scope that we're going to have. So it is going to be a to-do application where you're going to create to-dos, and then you tick them off that when it is done, or you can mark it as incomplete. but uh, uh, but unlike other to do applications, I have created another dimension to it. I have put it another dimension to it, which is adding a time dimension in our application. So it won't be just another to do application where you are going to put stuff and then you're going to check them done or not done, but we'll also have a time element to it where you can see your past to dos, and you can plan your future to dos, you can adjust them. So there will be pretty much thing going in this particular application. So let's get going. So uh, I have already written an article that how to create this, so you can find that particular link in the description, maybe right below. So I would recommend you to go first, mm, going first with that particular article. What you can do, you can get a pretty idea about what our basic things are going to be, and then in this particular video we are going to take that article further. So if you haven't read that article, I will insist that you go and read that. If you do not, again you can follow along, and then uh, we can continue with this tutorial. So if you haven't already installed Expo, so you can find my other another tutorials where I have explained that how to install Expo, how to get your dev environment set up. So the point of this tutorial is basically we are not going to focus on how you are going to create these splash screen that you are seeing in my screen on the right, yeah. And so these things are already created. I'm just going to explain those out in this particular tutorial, and then what the takeaway from this tutorial would be that how can you create pure components in React Native. So when I say pure components, it is basically means that it is going to be pure. So pure means that it is not so you can basically it is going to follow a solid principle of software development where it will be open for configuration. You can configure the way you want. It will have the props and many other stuff. You can style it as per your requirement, but then it will be closed for modification, so that you don't have to again change any code when if you want to put some modification in the design or a design, yeah. So the takeaway from this particular tutorial is going to be basically that how can you create pure components in React Native, and what are the big advantage that we can get and we can leverage from these pure components. Because you see, in the React environment, it is basically or in any JavaScript code that you are doing, so you must understand the concept of pure functions. So pure functions are very helpful when you have to test it, when you have to scale it. And the concept of your functions are that it should not be modifying its own parameters. So whatever parameters that you have given, whatever the data that you have passed to this particular function, it should not modifying those data. It should and it should be testable. So if you and it should not depend on the closures. So closures, I mean that closures are basically the variable that resides outside of a function. so it should not depend on those, so it should be very much pure, and it should be testable. So this is one concept that we are going to learn. So let me take you directly to the blog that I have written, uh, that basically talks about how you are going to set up the navigation, how you are going to basically design something like this. So okay, so what I was explaining was basically the article. So let me take you there. So it's here. So in this particular article, I have explained the I have explained how you can reach to the screen that we are targeting. So this particular article pretty much explains everything. So how you can initiate an Expo project, how you can install it, and then what are the dependencies that you are going to take, and what the package JSON would look like after you are done, and then the app.js and things like that. Okay, so so let me show you the screen that I'm having, and my Expo is basically running in the background. So you see the back button that I pressed is basically done by navigation, and here is a get started. So this is basically taking me to that. So let me explain these functionalities. So how these things has been done. Let me clear my screen first. So close. Yeah, that is going to do. So this is the app.js. So what it has, basically it has set it up with this navigator, okay, and it is using stack navigator. Okay, and then it has two different screens, which is one is welcome screen and one is to do. So let me take you to the welcome screen. What it does, basically welcome screen is having image, yeah, and then it's having some text to it, which is this welcome to, and then it has a button which is this one. So it is also using the icon from React Native vector icons, and okay, that you can put over here like in the button. Okay, and the button has been already had been taken from the React Native element. So this is basically what you can call what you say, the bootstrap. Yeah, so it is basically what the bootstrap to any HTML application. This is the React Native element is also the same for a React Native application. So you can have many component built in that you can choose from. So it is basically here you can go and you can see that it has different type of pre-built components, such as loading and one with the icon, and then different styles that you want to implement, and badges, avatars, and pretty much everything that you might need to create a small application. So this is what I'm going to be using. Okay, and you can visit to this particular site if you want to go deep into that, but I'm not going to use the full elements of full components of these, but I'm going to use this button and few other stuffs. Okay, so this is my welcome screen. Okay, that is being navigated by default. When I say initial route in stack navigator, so this is going to be welcome, this is going to be the welcome. The name suggests that okay, I'm going to move it to the welcome screen at first, and then this is the component that is being loaded, and then when I'm clicking on this to do, so basically there is a button in welcome screen what I have already shown you, which is this one. So when I'm going to click on this, so there is a function written for that over here. So when I'm going to press on this, this is basically going to take it navigate to the to do, and what you see over here is basically this navigation is coming from the props. So you can write it this as well, like props, but in that case you have to write something like props dot navigation. It is pretty much the same, it is still doing that same functionality. So changing that doesn't change concept. But why did I use that destructuring? Basically, this is very cool feature of ECMAScript 6, which is the recent change to the JavaScript, that you can destructure your parameters right in the definition of the function itself. So I'm going to take out the navigation from the props, and then I no longer have to use this props over here, and then I can simply do this, and it is still function as it is expected. But what benefits does it add rather than writing smaller code is basically it provides you the readability. So readability is something that you should definitely look into, because might be the case, or if you are doing or if you are developing a very large size application, you might not be the only person who is working on this piece of software. There might be many of your colleagues who is also going to work alongside with you, and the code that you are writing should be very much readable, so that other people who comes looking at this component, they should have clear idea that what this particular component is basically doing, and so that they can also make changes to these components, and then it is also maintainable. Because whenever you write a particular piece of code, and then after 6 months you come to reading, it might be tedious to you. And it's also said that in the real software development environment, you write less code and then you read more codes. Yeah, so even you have to read your own code back, and then you might forget that what this particular piece is doing. So it is pretty good that you should always be always maintaining that coding practices, best coding practices, because you see in the software world there are 1,000 ways to do a particular stuff. The problem is that what is the best way you can choose from all those available ones. Okay, so clean codes is something that you should always keep in your mind. Then it is basically the welcome screen. Then when you press on that particular button, on this button, then it is going to take you to that to do screen, which is defined in this stack itself, and it is going to launch a to do screen when you click on that button. So let me take you to the to do screen. So to do screen is also made of another component. So in the React world, or in any JavaScript, you should be writing components. When you write components, what it does, it basically makes your code look very clean. It is easy to maintain, and then the concept pure means in JavaScript is basically the function that you are writing basically should not depend on it should have its own props. It should depends on its own properties. It should not modify those properties, or in another way we call it the data mutation. So it should not be modifying its own parameters that you have passed to it, and it should always behave the same depending on the parameter that you have given. It should not depend on the closures. So closures here, I mean that it should not be taking any state from the variable outside of its own scope. So these are the concerns that makes any function pure, and it is good coding practice that you should be using pure functions. Okay, so our concept over here is that we will be using pure components. The concept is very much same like pure components, so it should not depend on the closures. It should be testable, it should be readable. Okay, so I am having a day slider, which is in this particular screen. The day slider is basically this. If you see the arrow and to do, this is basically coming from the stack navigator. But this particular thing over here is basically a day slider component. What are the capabilities over here is that you can horizontally scroll it. You can pick dates, and then this component itself consists of two components. Okay, so we also call it the composition of the components. So this screen is basically made of few other components, and the components is itself made of few other components. So your component should not be very heavy one. It should be light to read, at least. If its functionality is very complex, but then it should not be complex in terms of when you're coding it, because if your code gets complex, It doesn't matter whether the functionality that it is serving to is complex or not, but the code should not be complex. Okay, so this is day slider, so let me take you to that day slider. So all this code you can simply copy from that article that I have written, but I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm going to clean these code out as well, and here I'm going to tell you another thing, which is keep your code clean. Clean means there are times when you have to you have to you have to if you want to me that use some component maybe for your future concerns, that okay, I'm importing all those things because I might need in the future, and then you didn't use those variables or those objects or those component. You should be removing those things, because there shouldn't be any garbage in your code, because it is going to after few months from now, you won't be yourself able to decide that whether you should be deleting those things out or not, because you might be thinking of regressions, and then the concept that if the code is working, let's not touch that. So garbage collection becomes a very tough decision afterwards when you are not cleaning the code. So this is something that you should always remember, because these are the something bit not in the initial phase, but in the product which is running very successfully, these things are going to haunt you for a long period of time if you're not maintaining these coding concepts or coding principles, that I should say. So you should follow these disciplines like clean code, readable codes, and pure. Yeah. So what this particular component, this day slider is doing, it basically is taking a dates. So if you look at here, this is a dates. Okay, so what this date component takes, it takes the dates array. What is the current date? What should it do when the date has been selected, and what should it do when the date render is being called? So when you are going to render, so this function is pretty much important when you have a very dynamic dates going on. You are pushing dates into this, so we can use that for our future cases. Okay, so this date component is basically yeah. Okay, so you see these when I click on 25, the color is being changed, and these things, and so this is basically taken care by this tick component. So when you talk about the design principle over here, this is basically a design this principle I also call the music composition principle, where all these small components are your notes, which does a very certain thing. Like if you play on C sharp, it is going to sound like C sharp. It is C sharp, it never will sound D sharp or something like that. So your small components, so small components are those notes, and then it makes a composition. You make a composition out of those small notes, and then you orchestrates it. So the facade piece basically orchestrates those in the real use scenarios. Okay, so these are a few features that has been used, like touchable opacity, which is a component from the React Native itself. So when you look at when I put something like this, it gives cool effect of this thing has been touched. Okay, it gives the user some idea that okay, the thing that he was trying to do has been completed. So these are the eye candy thing, I won't say, but it is good thing to have. Okay, so this is the date component. So you see the day slider is composed of dates, which is which is also the date is itself the dates it itself a composition of date. Okay, so whatever the dates that we have given it to in this props, it is basically mapping it through, and then it is going to lay out a date component which is this one, and then it is going to pass on few parameters over there. And then when I said that this particular data, we should be following the solid points principle, which is that your component should be open for configuration but closed for modification. When I say that open for, so let's say that if I want to change the active color to red, okay, so I shouldn't be writing code over here that okay, let's change the style to red, because then it in this particular thing it is making this particular component very much rigid to change. Okay, pretty better idea is that whenever I am putting some props, like I am setting some is active color, like container active, like if I want to change some color, so I can definitely take it from the props which I can define over here. So like say if I say something like it should be red one, so yeah, so this gets changed. So it is basically configurable. So your component, your pure component should be as much configurable as possible. Okay, so what are the possibility that you find that okay, some people might be interested in putting out a different background style over here, a different font color for this fonts, a different active color for this, so it should be pretty much configurable. So this is not yet that much, it is only this is configurable to this level where I can put my different set of colors, and then it is going to change that particular behavior. But you should get the idea behind this open for configuration and close for modification stuff, or the discipline of the software development. Okay, so this is what it does. So the to do part, where so this particular scroll view, I'm coming back to that particular screen where all these to dos have been sorry. So welcome screen, which was another screen, that is to do screen. So you see I have so this slide is basically responsible for this, and now this to do section is another component which is also again straightforward. I have put it the date, selected date, so which date has been selected. This is important because let's say that in future we might need to use this particular date to fetch some to do from the backend server or some server from some APIs. Then we can use this date to pass on as a parameter to those APIs, and then they are going to give us what are the saved to do of mine, and then I can use those. But let me show you what this component is. So basically it has the static data, which is not going to be like, because these static data just for rendering out the design, which is this one. Okay, but in real world it would be coming from some API server, and then these are the scroll view. And then in our next tutorial we will be talking about this what this plus button is going to do. So we will be having some functionality around it, so that I can add to do to it, and then these lists that would be coming from the server. So I think before going to the part 2 of this tutorial, you should be able to create this particular design. We are not making any API calls, so there is no server side programming as of now in this to-do application, but we will be definitely doing that in our coming lectures. But before going to that particular thing, I would recommend you to go to those article that I have shared with you, and then you can follow, and then you come up with this design. You might explore the component which is here. You might be changing some color, you might be changing some font. So I would recommend you to explore the possibilities with it, and then in our next tutorial we will be making it more functional. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel, because when you have subscribed and you pressed on the bell icon, so whenever I will be updating a new tutorial, you would be able to watch that. Okay, so please do subscribe to my channel, and also comment your views on this. And this particular tutorial I have made because of my one viewer's request. So I'd like to thank him, and this is my also a request to my other viewers that if you want me to come up with another type of tutorials, you can definitely put some suggestions over there so that I can create because it will be interactive thing for me as well, that I should be delivering the content that viewer is actually demanding, so that you can grow with your own pace. Okay, stay safe in this COVID situation. Thank you for watching.